What's up guys, it's Philge here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about the Shaman class. This is one of the oldest classes in Adventure Quest, and before it was rarely used, but ever since AE buffed it last year, if I'm not mistaken, it's been one of the most used classes in the game. So without further ado, let me show you guys just how to get the class. You join Arcan Grove, then talk to Raised in the shop. 50,000 gold. Now this class can be purchased for 2,000 adventure coins. You must have rank 10 Arcan Grove, which I already have, one of the earlier reps. You can just easily do the dailies in Mudlock, Cloister for some good rep, or you can just farm Gorilla Fans. And yeah, it's a grind, but it's totally worth it. So let's look at the stats of the class. 120 attack power, 815 spell power, low strength, high full intellect, high endurance, low dex, full wisdom, medium average luck. The luck isn't actually that bad. Its chance is 100.20%, which means you should never miss. And my only problem is that it gains mana a terrible way. First rank full passive, ancestral teachings, intellect increased by 15%. The second, primal fury, crit chance increased by 8%. Now Shaman doesn't have a rank 10 passive. The evolved version of it does, but the normal Shaman does. Yeah, so that being said, let's jump into the skills. I remember back in the day when Shaman was actually quite a useless class because it could only do short bursts of damage. The heal over time was, I think, 20 of, it wasn't even a heal over time, it was just a heal of 20, and the skills were explosive, so it was pretty useless. Your auto attack is a basic one, just the updated information, 570 non-crits and 174 non-crits. So you may be wondering why I say auto attacks are the same, but some classes hit 1.3k. That's because the physical classes, the classes that have higher attack power, they hit higher in their autos. So your two skills called Ancestor's Flame, 10 mana, 4-second cooldown, is a magical skill. Deals moderate damage to up to 3 targets and applies Scorch Spirit. Damage increased by Elemental Embrace. So as you can see there, 1.7k to 3 enemies. It applies the Scorch Spirit on there. The Scorch Spirit just doesn't really do anything. It's just a combo kind of skill. You have to have, when you have Scorch Spirit and you apply this, you heal yourself and the enemy will take more damage. So Hydrophobia, 15 mana, 4-second cooldown. This is your third skill. The magical skill deals moderate damage to up to 3 targets. Any targets affected by Scorch Spirit will be dealt extra damage and heal the caster for a portion of the damage dealt. Healing increased by Elemental Embrace. So as you see, once I do Scorch Spirit, the difference on enemies that didn't get Scorch Spirit, 1.7k, and then the ones that had got 3.5k. so Scorch Spirit doubles the damage of Hydrophobia, and also there's a heal over time on me if I can just get it. Heal over time is about 250 if I'm not mistaken. Thing is, I kill the enemy so fast, so the heal over time doesn't work, but we'll get to that later. First skill is called Dry Lightning, 40 mana, 16-second cooldown, is a magical skill. Deals heavy damage to the target. Damage increased by Elemental Embrace. So this basically is just your it's basically your high damage skill. Let me try and get the heal off. Yeah, that's the heal, 230 heal over time. Then as you can see, 1.5k non-crit, which you crit for about 5.3k if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, sorry for the background noise. Let's try and get a crit off this. As you can see, mana is a problem. 5.1k crit, which is pretty decent. Your 5th skill is called Elemental Embrace, 60 mana, 16-second cooldown, is a magical skill. Deals light damage to the target and applies Elemental Embrace, negating all target evasion and critical strike chance. This effect also makes the Shaman spells more powerful and gets stronger the more spells the Shaman casts against the target. So this basically, once I apply this, there's no dodging, no missing. The enemy just must be hit all the time and cannot crit. So in PvP against rogues, thief of ours, once you apply elemental embrace on them, they can't dodge. All your abilities must essentially work and everything. And then over time, you won't notice the full power of this skill unless you are taking on a high health monster. You guys will see in the solo, I'll reach up to 60k, and so yeah. So Shaman, there's some cases Shaman can do up to 200k, just depending on how fast you do the skills and everything. So yeah, basically that's it. The elemental embrace it lasts for quite a bit, but it fades, so just try to conserve your mana, and then always make sure it's active. As you can see, the buff was the heal over time. Before, there was no heal over time. It was just a heal of about 50, which wasn't really helping anyone, and then it's very generous. So, and then another thing you have to notice is that when you do your elemental embrace, it's only these two skills that will increase in damage. Hydrophobia, it apparently increases the heal over time, but it's not much. As you can see, I'm already up to 10k. Why this class is like one of the best at farming in the game is that you don't have to worry about healing, because while you're doing damage, you're healing. That's what makes the class so unique and everything. It's pretty common and it's really worth it. I really recommend getting Arkangrove Rep, because you're getting two classes, the Evolved Shaman and the Shaman. Then you're getting one of the requirements for Stone Crusher. You guys all know Stone Crusher. I think I'll do a guide on that tomorrow or later today, but you guys all know Stone Crusher, the best solo class. Once upon a time the best solo class, and a Shaman, one of the best farming classes. So Arkangrove produces some decent reputations. For your enhancements, Wiz, full Wiz, just basically go full Wiz and everything, and you should be fine. But you can also go one lock on the cape. I always recommend one lock on the cape just to get those crits up. So that's been the Shaman class. If you want to go to PvP, your combo should just be 5 skill no matter what, then 4 2 3 if you have mana, but just try and conserve your mana as much as you can. So that has been the Shaman class, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. As usual, the solo clip comes after. Until next time, I've been Froggy. I'm out. Love you guys. Peace.